And we are so excited to have both the Gelbvieh and Limousin breeds back here to the National Western. As we begin our Gelbvieh show today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our judge this year for the 2024 Gelbvieh Pin Show and Balancer Show. It's Mr. Jared Mernon. Jared is a sale manager with Allied Genetic Resources. He went to Casper College and Colorado State University and was on the livestock judging teams while at both of those institutions. After graduation, Jared worked 2 years as the at the American Gelbvieh Association, then went on to serve as a regional manager for the American Angus Association for 8 years. He's served as general manager of Origin for 8 years and general manager of Western Ag Reporter for 4 years. He resides in Billings, Montana with his wife Julie and their kids Claire and Cooper. They run a small seed stock operation focused on producing high-quality show heifers. The kids show nationally around the country and they really enjoy doing this as a family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Jared Mernon from Billings, Montana to evaluate our Gelbvieh and Balancer shows. I've got the thumbs up too on our Limousin side. Again, welcome all you Limousin enthusiasts. Again, welcome back to the 2024 National Western. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our judge today for our Lim-Flex and our Purebred division is Mr. Marty Ropp. Marty hails from Normal, Illinois, received his Bachelor of Science degree at Kansas State University, then went on to the University of Missouri where he received his master's degree and also taught and coached the collegiate livestock team while at MU. He currently serves as executive officer of Allied Genetic Resources and All Beef. Worked 6 years as an extension officer at Missouri and Michigan, then spent 12 years at the American Simmental Association as their director of commercial and outreach programs before starting Allied business in 2010. Allied is made up of more than 100. Well, now, Marty, you got a doctorate degree because I can't read that word. And they serve as marketing director of 10,000 commercial bulls each year into 30 different states. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Marty Ropp to evaluate your Limousin and Lim-Flex cattle. On our Gelbvieh side, or our Balancer pen of 3 females, this is Class 1. This is a single entry in this class, coming to you from Wilkinson Gelbvieh from Model, Colorado. Your first animal in the ring is BNW Prairie Gal Lori 3069L, a March 26 daughter of DLW TPG Glory 5141G. Your second animal in the ring is BNW Prairie Gal Liberty 3085L, an April 10th daughter of DLW TPG Glory 5141G. And the red heifer coming in next is SYD Boondocks Prairie Gal Landry 3074L. This is a March 29th daughter, also of DLW TPG Glory 5141G.
Wilkinson Gelbvieh Ranch is from Model, Colorado. They're operated by Bill Wilkinson, his wife Nancy, their daughter Sydney. They have a bull sale the last Saturday in March at the ranch at Model. They're selling 40 to 45 Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls. They'll be 12 to 18 months old. Most are black. They're all polled. The bulls will be ultrasounded, PAP tested, and BSE tested. They're also offering 2 pens of open heifers in the sale along with the bulls. This pen of 3 females has an average age of 283 days, average weight of 803 pounds, and 2.84 average weight per day of age.
On our limousine side, our first class is a single entry. This will also serve as your Division I champion pen of Lim-Flex bulls. Coming to you from Running Creek Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado, your first bull in the ring is RUNL 206K. This is an April 1st son of RUNL Kiowa 206K. Your second bull in the ring right now, this is RUNL 340K, an April 8th son of RUN Keister 340K.
Here on the balancer side, nice pen of heifers to get us started today. Really like the quality of these late March and early April born heifers. 2 black heifers match up really well. They're really angular through their front, got a lot of femininity, a lot of look, very structurally correct. Red heifer is a power female. She's got a lot of hip, a lot of spring of rib. Maybe fix her just a little out of her front end, give her a little more slope and angle to her shoulder, smooth her up at the point of her shoulder to fit the other 2 heifers, but again, really a nice single entry to get us going here on the balancer pen of 3 females.
And your third entry in your Running Creek Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado is RUNL 166K. This is a March 29th son of RUNL Keno 166K. Running Creek Ranch from Elizabeth, Colorado is Joe and Joey Friend, Pat and Casey Kelly. After starting the limousine in 1977, Running Creek Ranch first exhibited at the National Western in 1984, making this year their 37th year participating in the Penn and Carload show. Running Creek utilizes an intensive AI program with both their 1,250 cows on the home ranch in Elizabeth and the 900 limousine cows in a satellite herd in Kimball, Nebraska. They also feed between 1,600 and 2,000 cattle in their natural programs, age and source verified NHTC for Tyson and Myers Natural Foods. The Friends select for low birth weight, high growth cattle that are structurally sound, that are docile and highly fertile. Running Creek annually sells 250 virgin 2-year-old bulls private treaty. Bulls are sold semen tested with an identity profile on sire groups of 2-year-olds. Running Creek offers an unconditional first season breeding guarantee and free delivery. They assist their customers by offering marketing assistance for their commercial calf crops, buyback calf program for commercial customers, and age and source verified enrollment. They also offer bull retirement program offering a premium for retired bulls. They're members of the NCBA and Colorado Livestock Association. Joe serves as past president of the Colorado Limousine Association, past NALF board member. Joey's a NALF board member. Ethan, past NALF board president. Recipient of the NALF Commercial Marketing Booster and the Year in 2001, Booster of the Year, and the recipient of the People's Choice Award in the Penn and Carload show. Folks, again, let's welcome Running Creek Ranch, Elizabeth, Colorado.
Okay, in the balancer side right now, we've got Warner Beef Genetics from Arapahoe, Nebraska with pen of 3 females. The first female in the ring is DLW Miss Patron 340L, sired by GDV T-Bar S Casino. And the second female in the ring was DLW Miss Casino 342L. She's also a daughter of GDTV T-Bar S Casino. The third female is DLW Miss Durant 359L, sired by BTBR Durant. The average age of these females is 317 days. Average weight is 850 pounds, and average weight per day of age 2.68 pounds per day.
Our average weight over here on the Running Creek pen is 1,692 pounds, and their average WDA was 2.62. Now our comments from our judge, Mr. Marty Robb.
Thank you, Jake. it sounds like we're going to have some single classes here, and so Mark told me a little bit ago, he says, I'll be 5 for 5 on placing classes by the time we get through the first 5. But if all of them have the kind of quality these guys do, it'll be pretty interesting when we get down to have to get down to the heavy sort and then picking some champions. These 3 bulls come in here. We're looking at bulls here that are 20 months old, and in our business, there's getting to be more and more interest in this kind of age bulls because they can get out and really get it done the first year. Pass their semen, do all the things they're supposed to do with some of the problems that we don't have in the yearling divisions. There's sure some differences in the bulls, but when you get them tied to the fence there, you sure see they're cut from the same mold as far as having a lot of thickness to them, stout made, good structured kind of bulls like we have to have in this division and all the divisions. But I guess as I come out here and look at the bulls, the first bull comes out, he sure does. He's kind of the Cavanese prospect in the group, and he kind of looks it. We know that this Cavanese and this marbling kind of goes together a little bit, and he shows that when you look at him on paper. He's maybe not quite as stout, maybe not quite as good back there in his flank as some of them, but you can sure see in that maturity pattern and all that he's made to do what he's supposed to do, and that is calf just a little easier than the other 2. The second bull is sure the pretty one in the group, tremendously extended up through his front, really nice when you get him on the profile, and he can really wheel when he comes out here on the move. All of you kind of see that about that guy. Would give him maybe just stouten him up a little bit as you get back there and look at that scrotal, but he's big enough to go out and do what he needs to do. The bull that sure hits you in the group is the third one. He came out here and sure struck me, just from a standpoint of his structure and bone and feet. Tremendous that way, tremendous thickness. He's got some body to him. He's still got enough look and style and balance from the side, particularly the way I like him, which is to look like a bull. He does all those things. I love the set to his hock. I love the way he motors. He's the power in this group. Not as big maybe in terms of frame as some of them, but he's sure big enough in that regard. And again, he really puts a nice exclamation point on this good pen of bulls. Let's give these folks a nice hand as they take them back.
On the balancer side, we've got Riley Cattle Company from St. Francis, Kansas. The first heifer in the ring was Love Me Not, 3100L, sired by Mr. Way Up. The second heifer in the ring is Lucky M, 372L, and sired by Record Year 9190G. The first heifer was born on February 27th. The second one's born on February 24th. The pen average is 317 days of age, 942 is average weight, and 2.97 average weight per day of age. The third heifer in the ring is Liberty, 397L, sired by EGL Enterprise, E080. Riley Cattle Company is operated by Matt and Delbert Riley and their families. Their bull and female sale is the second Thursday in March at the ranch near St. Francis, Kansas. And they'll be selling 60 bulls and 20 females. The cattle will be black and red and include purebreds and balancers.
Again, our class winner in Class 1 and also your Division 1 champion goes to entry 5167, the pen exhibited by Running Creek Ranch, Elizabeth, Colorado. In Class 2, again, we have a single entry. This will also serve as your class or your Division 3 champion Lim-Flex bulls. This comes to you from Lawrence Family Limousine from Anton, Texas. Your first animal in the ring is BLAW 2156K. This is an October 12th son of LFL Cash Card 2156K. Our second entry, this is BLAW 2217K. This is a December 3rd son of LFL King Tut 2217K. Lawrence Family Limousine from Anton, Texas, Bruce and Paula Lawrence. Leroy Lawrence, Johnny Amber Tucker, and Colt Parkinson, all on the ranch. Lawrence Family Limousine got their start in 1988, and this year is the 8th year exhibiting at both at the Cattlemen's Congress and the National Western Stock Show. Lawrence Family Limousine runs 250 registered limousine and Lim-Flex cows, market 60 to 80 bulls annually. They also run 100 commercial cows and have an extensive AI and embryo transplant program. Lawrence Family Limousine total registered cow herd are 100% parent verified and all have genomically enhanced EPDs. They select cattle to stay strong in birth weight, weaning weight, yearling weight, and pay close attention to carcass traits, docility, and strive not to single trait select. The third entry in the Class 2 here is BLAW 2130K, a September 12th son of LFL Cujo 2130K, and is also a maternal brother to the first bull in the ring. Bruce serves as a member of the NALF board and is currently serving as your NALF president. Bruce also served 2 terms as the Texas Limousine Association president and is currently serving on the board of directors. Amber is currently serving on the Texas Limousine as the Texas Limousine Association president. Lawrence Family Limousine markets bulls with Coyote Hills Ranch at their annual bull sale held March 9th, 2024, selling 90 bulls, total all black and polled bulls. Lawrence Family Limousine also will be selling seed stock replacement females at Coyote Hill Ranch at their female sale on March 4th, 2024 in Chattanooga, Oklahoma. Lawrence Family Limousine also sells 25 to 30 bulls annually at the Southern Oklahoma Select Bull Sale the first Saturday in December in Atoka, Oklahoma. Lawrence Family Limousine stand behind all their bulls, help their customers find markets for their calves. Again, this is your pin from the Lawrence Family Limousine in Anton, Texas. Average weight per day of age, 3.74 with an average weight of 1670.
On the balancer side, we're currently placing Class 2. As you stand behind the cattle, Warner Beef is on the left, Riley Cattle Company is on the right. We'll turn it over to Jared.
Really a high quality class here with 2 pens of 3 females in this balancer division. All of these are early March, late February born females according to the sheet. So age is about the same when you compare these two. There is a difference in pounds and performance that you can see. There's different management styles and different scenarios that these heifers are in. I think all in all though, both pens are very acceptable for their age, size, and when that comes down to it, it just kind of becomes personal preference for me. And with that, there's a pen that there's 2 individuals and one in particular that just really my speed, that just really grabs me in terms of bone, foot size, how they're made through the front end and out through their hip. So with that, the pen on my left is going to be first. I really like this pen in second for their size and power, but maybe just like to extend them a little more through the front and just give them a little bit more looseness of structure compared to the one in first, but 2 really, really nice pens for this class.
Okay, first place in the class goes to Warner Beef Genetics from Arapahoe, Nebraska, and second place to Riley Cattle Company from St. Francis, Kansas. And now we'll be selecting the champion and reserve champion balancer pen of 3 females.
An excellent set of balancer females for the show, pen of 3. The quality on all 9 of these in the ring is exceptional, in my opinion. I wish we had more numbers to compete against here. As we pull the Class 1 winner out here, a really nice pen of females, one that really catches my eye out there. Maybe like to just make them a little more consistent. The red heifer's really powerful, maybe doesn't match up quite as nice as to the other 2 black heifers, in my opinion. And again, the class winner out of the second class, really appreciate how these females are made. There's a couple individuals that really grab me in terms of how they're made through that front end, hip, looseness of structure, bone and foot size. So with that, the class 2 will be your champion pen of balancers, and I'll go make selection for reserve.
Congratulations to Warner Beef Genetics on Grand Champion Balancer pen of 3 females.
As we bring the second placer on my far left in contention for reserve overall, some really nice individuals in this pen as well. Their power and performance is definitely there. They're got the size. They're really well developed females, and that can't be denied. Really like the consistency of that pen. So with that, the second place out of Class 2 is going to be your reserve.
And reserve champion balancer pen of 3 heifers goes to Riley Cattle Company from Kansas. At this time, we're going to take a 15-minute pitcher break on these heifers, and then we will resume with the balancer pen of 3 bulls.
Over here on the Limousin side, again, as I said, just be single entries in these classes, but tremendous amount of individual quality in this group here. These are bona fide growth and carcass bulls. You look at them on paper, and I mean, they excel. 40 pounds over breed average for yearling weight, 25, 30 pounds over for weaning weight EPD, huge marbles in these cattle, as you can see, not only their EPD profiles, but also in the scan values. The challenge in this pen as we go from September to December bulls is we're just going to have some differences in weight, and those kind of differences maybe make the bulls appear to have a little less uniformity, but if you look at them from a structure standpoint, type and kind, they're all real similar. Again, the punctuation on here is this big September bull. When he comes out here into the ring, just massive for body and muscle and bone, big-footed kind of a bull, huge testicle. Again, does everything you'd like him to do here on paper. You like that cat a lot. Even all the way down to the December bull, who's just, he just given up some age. If he's 3 months older than that, he fits right in here because he's sure got that kind of beautiful structure and wonderful from the side. Just a really, really nice pen of bulls against some spreaded age, but tremendous growth in carcass bulls. A lot of value here. Let's give them a nice hand.
Thank you, Marty. Again, your class winner and your Division III champion Lim-Flex pen of bulls goes to the Lawrence Family Limousine, Anton, Texas. Again, those bulls had an average weight of 1670 with an average WDA of 3.74. Congratulations again to the Lawrence Family Limousine of Anton, Texas. Okay, as we start our Class 3, again, we have a single entry in Class 3 of our Lim-Flex division. This pin will serve as your Division 4 champion pin, coming to you from T4 Livestock, Sterling, Colorado. Your first bull in the ring, this is T4 031L, a February 11, 2023 son of T4 Lecture Hall 031L. T4 Livestock from Sterling, Colorado. Owners are Tad, Nan, Tyler, and Trotter Thomas, and the herdsman is Joel Hill. T4 Livestock is a first-generation Limousin and Lim-Flex breeder. T4 was introduced to Lim-Flex cattle via their parent company, Advantage Feed Yard, a 25,000-head commercial cattle feeding operation located in northeastern Colorado. With 20 years of cattle feeding and over 2 million head of live cattle marketed, those experiences have encouraged us to breed a different kind of beef animal with attributes that most haven't thought about. With our 150 registered Angus and Lim-Flex core herd, our goal is to make high production and efficient Limousin and Lim-Flex animals that with high carcass merits, meters, and succeed in both the pasture and the pen. Check out our first production sale on L365 Auctions, and Aldi, stay tuned to digital media for our first production bull sale March 20th, 2024 in Sterling, Colorado. Your second entry in this pen, coming to you from T4 Livestock, is T4 072L. This is a March 8th, 23 son of T4 Landrush 072L. And our final entry in this pen from T4 Livestock in Sterling, Colorado is T4 034L. This is a February 12th son of T4 Loading Zone 034L. This pen had an average weight of 1,085 pounds with an average WDA of 3.36 pounds per day. Again, this is your pen of Lim-Flex bulls from T4 Livestock, Sterling, Colorado.
And finally getting into some spring bulls here in these pens, and just a wonderful group from a standpoint of uniformity, kind of youthful looking bulls that are really sound in terms of the way they get about the ring. Really, really nicely presented bulls. Again, the strength of the group, I think you kind of shoot a level right down there across their top. They're the same size, similar for growth, very similar in terms of their EPD profiles as well. When you do some of the things like I do and try to put groups of bulls together for folks, that means a lot, that the bulls get off a trailer and they look the same and they perform the same. Here's some bulls too that won't get you any trouble. Cavanese is acceptable, growth well above average, wonderful marbling and maternal traits in these cattle. I mean, they just kind of do it all from that perspective. Change them and put maybe just a little bit more testicle size on these bulls, but they got 2 more months and they should make the minimum and be fine that way. Maybe add a little more heel up on the front end of 1 or 2 of those bulls and make that toe just a little bit shorter. But again, just a wonderful set of bulls uniformity-wise. Again, I try to make people happy when I buy them bulls. When bulls like this jump off the trailer, they're happy. Let's give them a nice hand.
Again, your Class 3 champion pen of 3 bull, Lim-Flex bulls, and your Division 4 champion Lim-Flex pen of bulls is exhibited by T4 Livestock, Sterling, Colorado. Again, these bulls weighed 1,085 pounds with an average WDA of 3.36. And again, be with these fine folks for their first production sale on L365 Auctions and Aldi on March 20th, 2024.
On the Gelbvieh and Balancer side, we're starting the Balancer Pen of 3 show. This is Class 3. We have 2 entries. Our first entry is from Wilkinson Gelbvieh Ranch at Model, Colorado. First bull in the ring is BNW Plainsman Lariat, 3110L, sired by Plainsman Ombre, and he's born on March 16th. He's 60% Gelbvieh. Second bull in the ring is BNW Plainsman Leonard, 3108L, sired by Plainsman Granger, born on March 14th. These bulls have an average age of 301 days, average weight of 937 pounds, average weight per day of age of 3.11. The third bull in the ring is BNW Plainsman Latigo, 3105L, sired by BNW Eduardo, 7134E. He's born on March 11th. The Wilkinsons have been raising both registered and commercial herds running in the open range of southeast Colorado. These cattle are bred to cover the country and thrive in a tough environment while performing in all facets of the beef industry. The Wilkinsons have been raising Gelbvieh since 1984 when Bill bought his first herd Boulder Bill. They joined the association in 1986 and began registering their cows. They still believe in the breed and can't wait to see what goes in the next 30 years.
On our limousine side, folks, this is Class 4 Lim-Flex bulls, and this is the pen of bulls coming to you from Hager Cattle Company, Karlsruhe, North Dakota. Your first bull in the ring is AHCC 9624L, a February 21st son of AHCC Game Boy 9624L. The second entry in our Hager Cattle Company pen is AHCC 917L. This is a February 18th son of AHCC Gateway 917L. Hager Cattle Company is a 4th generation farming and ranching operation headquartered in Karlsruhe, North Dakota. Austin started his registered limousine herd in 1992 with the purchase of 1 cow, alongside with his wife Leah and 4 children, Bailey, Pitch, Trip, and Remy. The Hager Cattle Company operation today has turned into over 900 mama cows with a 50-50 mix of registered and commercial cattle. North Dakota winters are long and hard, which means our cattle have to be built tough to thrive in our environment. We have worked diligently to breed more rib shape, capacity, and fleshing ability into our Limousin herd. Our ultimate goal is to provide our customers with genetics that will allow them to be profitable in the cattle business. This marks our 16th year coming out to Denver, showcasing our genetics in the yards. Plan to be with us for our 18th annual Lim-Flex Bull Sale Tuesday, April 9th at the ranch, Carload, North Dakota. Our door is always open. Feel free to stop by the ranch for a visit or give us a call. We always make time to discuss the things that are important to you. Austin is currently serving as your NWSS president. Your third entry in the Hager Cattle Company pen is entry AHCC 780L. This bull is a February 18th stud, also of AHCC Gateway 780L. Again, this pen had an average weight of 1137 with an average weight per day of age of 3.51. This is your pen from Hager Cattle Company, Carload, North Dakota.
On the balancer side, with our second entry in Class 3, we have Riley Cattle Company. The first bull in the ring is Landlord M3110L, sired by Record Year. This bull's born on March 1st. He's 43% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,115 pounds, 34 centimeter scrotal.
Folks, let me correct myself. The first bull is a son of Wolf's Game Boy C911G. The second and third bulls are both sons of HBRL Gateway 9511G. Maybe by the end of the show, I'll figure out how to read this program right. Sorry.
The second bull in the ring is Legacy 349L, sired by JRI Esquire. He's born on February 21st. He's a 54% balancer, weighing 1055 with 34.5 centimeter scrotal. The average age of these bulls is 317 days. Average weight is 1,108 pounds, and weight per day of age is 3.50. Riley Cattle Company runs 250 registered Gelbvieh, balancer, and Red Angus cows. Focus on the commercial cattlemen with adding performance and highly maternal females. They bought their first Gelbvieh bull in 1983 and started registering cattle in 1987. The third bull in the ring is Leader 392L. He's also sired by JRI Esquire. He's born on February 26th, 54% Gelbvieh, 1,155 pounds, 33.5 centimeter scrotal.
Again, this is your pen of 3 Lim-Flex bulls. This is your Class 4 and Division 4 or 5 champion Lim-Flex champion. This will serve as your Division 5 Lim-Flex champion pen from Hager Cattle Company. Again, weight per day of age on the WDA is 3.51 with an average weight of 1137.
Again, a set of bulls here, strength is sheer uniformity in them. Bulls have just a little extra size and stretch. I sure appreciate that in this division. As we look at them on paper, wonderful spread, above average calf and knees, well above average growth and carcass. Really, really nice maternal traits. Again, kind of no holes bulls from that regard. Maybe that first bull that comes in, I'm not sure really strikes you from the side in terms of his depth of body, a squareness back out that hip. Really nice in the way he sets down on his rear leg. Like that bull quite a little bit. As we get down the line, maybe again not quite as bulky of bulls, but sure bulls that are really, really nice, particularly from that last rib back when you evaluate their soundness and structure, thickness, natural muscle that the bulls have. Would change a couple of these bulls a little bit in the way they want to sit down and that hoof up on that front end, but just an awful nice, high quality, and again, very uniform set of bulls in terms of size and weight. These folks have done a really nice job. Let's give them a hand and congratulations. We'll go on to our last Lim-Flex pins.
On the Gelbvieh and Balancer side, we're bringing the entries for Class 3 back into place to class. On your left, as you view the bulls, we've got Riley Cattle Company, and on your right, we've got Wilkinson Gelbvieh Ranch.
And our final Class 5 and entry for this division of Lim-Flex. These will also serve as your Division 6 Lim-Flex bulls. Coming to you from Lawrence Family Limousine, Anton, Texas. The first animal in the ring, this is LFL Lowry 3090L, a May 25th son of LFL Jetson 1300J. The second calf in the ring is LFL Lawson 3068L. Also a son of LFL Jetson 1300J. This is a May 4th bull calf.
Really a nice and challenging class for me as on this first pen of 3 for the Balancer bulls. All 6 out here exhibit a lot of quality, a lot of differences between the 2 pens in my opinion. The first pen that came out, really a deep-bodied, thick-ended, nice set of bulls. The red bulls really stout made. Like how they're developed in terms of for their age. Really a nice pen of bulls here. The second pen, really the pounds heavy, high performing, thick ended pen of bulls. Again, really like the red bull as well in this pen. Maybe wants to just toe in a little bit, being real nitpicky. Maybe like to give them just a little more scrotal circumference for their size, for their age they're fine, but maybe just a little more there. There's one individual that really scanned well for terms of IMF. They all have a really good amount of ribeye, and then when you get beyond that, the data is pretty well the same. So really a challenging class, give and take for both. In the end, you as producers pick the ones you like, but for today, for this class, I'm going to use the ones on my left for first, ones on my right for second.
Okay, first in Class 3 is Riley Cattle Company, and second is Wilkinson Gelbvieh.
And your third entry in the Lawrence Family Limousine class from Class 5, this is entry 5171. That third entry is LFL Lanny 3061L. Also a son of LFL Jetson 1300J. Again, these three half-brothers all had an average weight of 865 with an average weight per day of age of 3.55. Again, this will serve as your Division 6 champion Lim-Flex pen of bulls. Following this class, we will be selecting our Grand, Reserve Grand, and People's Choice Grand Champion Lim-Flex pen.
Coming in the ring on the balancer side, we've got Class 4. Our first entries from Warner Beef Genetics, and the first bull is DLW TPG Headline 6134LET, sired by Headline. He's born on January 28th. He's a 50% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,125 pounds, 36.5 centimeters scrotal. Warner Beef Genetics has an annual sale March 6th of 2024. They'll be selling 140 Gelbvieh and Balancer and Angus bulls. 55 of the bulls are 18 months old, 85 spring yearlings. They're mostly black, 100% polled. They also have female sales in the fall, selling 100 registered females and 600 plus commercial bred heifers. Their operation runs 450 registered females and 600 commercial cows. Their target is commercial bull customers that are in need of maternal genetics that can thrive in any environment. And they've been breeding Gelbvieh and Balancer cattle since 1991. The second bull in the ring is DLW TPG Frontrunner 9001L, sired by Frontrunner, and he's born February 16th, 75% Gelbvieh, 1,185 pounds, 36.5 centimeters scrotal. The third bull in the ring is DLW TPG Arizona, sired by TMGC Arizona, and he's born on January 24th. These bulls have an average age of 341 days, an average weight of 1,172 pounds, and an average weight per day of age of 3.44.
On our Lim-Flex side of the ring, again, this is our single entry in Class 5 and serve as your Division 6 champion Lim-Flex champion pen of bulls, exhibited by Lawrence Family Limousine, Anton, Texas.
What a nice little group here. I mean, we're just literally looking at weaning age bull calves, looking at hope for the future here, and just a wonderful set of sound structured, fresh, youthful bulls that got all their future ahead of them. And hopefully, even though they can sure bring them back here next year, hopefully they're out with new customers and breeding cows next year, not back here. But love them from just their EPD profiles across the board. Lots of growth, lots of carcass. Sure, right around breed average for Cavanese. These bulls, no holes in these guys whatsoever, and that's what I like to see, and we'd like to see that kind of bull in large numbers. One other thing I'm just going to say I appreciate the fact that these May bulls weigh 865 pounds and not 1,265 pounds, because they're the real deal. You guys do a great job, wonderful set of bulls. Appreciate you bringing them in here. Let's give them a nice hand, too.
Our second entry in Class 4 is exhibited by Plateau Gelby from Peets, Colorado. The first bull in the ring is PLA Mr. Cash Out, sired by PLA Cash Out, and he's born on January 29th. He's 75% Gelby, weighs 1,285 pounds with a 37.5 centimeter scrotal. Plateau Gelby is operated by Jim Raleigh and Kevin Dreger. They have a bull sale February 29th of 24 at the Livestock Exchange in Brush, Colorado at 1 p.m. They'll be selling 50 balancer and Gelby bulls. They concentrate heavily on embryo and AI program. They run 175 head of commercial and registered cattle focused on calving and performance genetics for the commercial cattlemen. They run a dry land operation that produces wheat, corn, and millet. The second bull in the ring is PLA Mr. Rip, sired by DJS Rip. He's born on January 30th. He's a 51% Gelby, weighs 1,215 pounds with a 36.5 centimeter scrotal. This pen of bulls has an average age of 344 days, average pen weight of 1,227, and a 3.57 weight per day of age.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to select our champion, reserve champion, and People's Choice champion, Lim-Flex bulls. Your Class 1 and Division 1 champion comes to you from Running Creek Ranch, Elizabeth, Colorado. This pen of bulls had an average weight of 1692 with an average WDA of 2.62.
Plateau's third bull is PLA Mr. Twister, sired by DBRG Twister. Born on January 30th, he's 75% Gelby, weighs 1,180 pounds with a 36.5 centimeter scrotal. Jim Raleigh purchased his first Gelby bull from Rod McLennan in 1985.
Your second pen of bulls here out of Class 2, your Class 2 winner, and your Division 3 champion set of Lim-Flex bulls is exhibited by Lawrence Family Limousine, Anton, Texas. Average weight of 1670 with an average weight per day of age of 3.74. Your Class 3 winner is the pen of bulls coming to you from T4 Livestock, Sterling, Colorado. This pen of bulls had an average weight of 1,085 with an average weight per day of age of 3.36. Your Class 4 winning pen and your Division 5 champion Lim-Flex bulls comes to you from Hager Cattle Company, Karlsruhe, North Dakota. This pen at an average weight of 1137 with an average weight per day of age of 3.51. And your Class 5 winning pen is the second pen exhibited by Lawrence Family Limousine from Anton, Texas. This pen of May calves had an average weight of 865 pounds with a weight per day of age of 3.55. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your class winners and division champions in your Lim-Flex pen. Our judge, Marty Ropp, will now be selecting and evaluating these pens and selecting your champion, reserve champion, and we will announce our people's champion following the selection.
The Colorado Gelby Association invites everybody over to the pens after the pen show to join them for hamburgers. Look for the Gelby and Bouncer banner out in the yards, and you can also buy chances to vote on your favorite pens, and a lucky person will win half of the proceeds of the ticket sales. On the balancer side, we're going to be placing Class 4. On your left, from behind the cattle, is Warner Beef Genetics, and on the right is Plateau Gelbvieh.
Again, another very high quality set of balancer bulls here for the pen show in our second class of the day. Again, a lot of give and take between these two pens, and you can, both of them are exceptional in terms of muscle, performance, bone and foot size, in my opinion. Good testicular development. I think uniformity when you get to the two are about the same. You know, there's a couple bulls that are more moderate, maybe one that's a little bigger for both pens. So yeah, as it gets down to that, it just kind of comes to some personal preference. Really like the pen that first came in terms of their depth of body, rib shape, really sound functional bulls. Maybe that third bull I'd like to free up, the one in the middle, just a little bit on his rear wheels, getting picky amongst the individuals, but I really like their shape to their hoof, their functionality, a lot of rib shape there. The second pen that just came in, really appreciate this bull for their bulls for their size and power. This bull closest to me, he's got a lot of performance, a lot of foot size. When it comes down to it, maybe you'd like to just change them a little out of their front ends, just lay them back a little in their shoulder, square them up a little on the front, maybe fix a couple bulls in terms of their hoof shape on the front. So it's a give and take when you get down to these two pens, and a lot of differences amongst them. But for my style, I like moderate, I like big ribbed, easy fleshing cattle with good hoof shape. So the bulls that fit me the best may not fit all of you the best, but for my style, I'm going to use my pen on my left, second the pen on my right. Excellent class.
Okay, congratulations to Warner Beef for first place in Class 4, and congratulations to Plateau Gelbvieh, second in Class 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the limousine side, I've been asked if you could fill out the back page of your program. That is the People's Choice ballot. So please fill those out and pass those down to the ring. There'll be people along the ring here to pick up those ballots, and then we'll announce our People's Choice Award too. But it comes from you. It's the crowd that votes. So please, every vote counts. It's not like our political system. So it's a little different system in Denver. Everybody's vote counts here. So once again, as our judge Marty Ropp is going through this pen of bulls, guys, our Class 1 winner from Running Creek Ranch, we've got a bull, TMCK or RUNL Kiowa 206K. He's a Humvee son. The second bull in the ring again was RUN Keister 340K. That is another Humvee 767H son. And the third bull was RUNL Keno. That's a CELL Glass Ceiling 9459G son. Again, this pen had an average weight of 1692 with a WDA of 2.62. Your second pen, oh, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, on the Gelvy side, we got Balancer Pen of 3 Bulls Class 5, exhibited by Black Gold Genetics from Pritchett, Colorado. First bull in the ring is BGGR Knockout K530, sired by CTR Ringgold, and he's born on December 1st, 51% Gelvy, weighs 1,150 pounds, 39 centimeters scrotal.
Your second division or third division winning bulls were from Lawrence Family Limousin. The first bull again was LFL Cash Card 2156. He's a Mags Faultless son. The second bull was LFL King Tut 2217. He's a son of LFL Esquire 7064. And the third bull again was a LFL Cujo 2130K and a full brother to the first bull in the ring, again a son of LFL or Mags Faultless 154F. Weight of 1670, WDA 3.74.
Black Gold's second bull is BGGR Patent K592, sired by Black Gold Payload. He's born on December 7th, 52% Gelvy, 1,120 pounds, and a 38 centimeter scrotal. This pen has an average age of 400 pounds, 1,150, or I'm sorry, average age 400 days, average weight of 1,157 pounds, and an average weight per day of age of 2.89. The third bull in the ring is BGGR Revenue, Capital Asset. He is sire, or that's his sire, Capital Asset. He's born on December 6th, 46% Gelvy, weighs 1,200 pounds. Black Gold Genetic is from Pritchett, Colorado, operated by the Crane family.
Okay, folks, we're ready, I think, for our comments from our judge on our limousine side. Here's Mr. Marty Ropp.
Thank you. Please give these folks a really good hand. There's so much, go ahead. There's so much effort and time that goes into doing this, not just here getting ready to come to the stock show, but you know, the donor dams of some of these bulls, you guys bred them 12, 15 years ago. That's how long it takes to put this kind of quality together. And I guess I'm really happy with the set of bulls that are out here. First time I came to Denver, to the Denver Pen Shows would have been almost 25 years now. I sound like an old guy. Jake, I sound like an old guy. 25 years. I worked for Semitol years ago. And the first time I came to Pen Shows, it was my job to help weigh the bulls in, check them in, announce the show, do all the things. And it quickly became my favorite show that we went to. I mean, it's real life, real bulls, not just one at a time, but in groups, showing programs. And that's why you guys bring them here, show off your program and show what's important to you and try to recruit customers. And so I always loved the Pen Bull Show. I've been back ever since to watch that. Back in those days, 25 years ago, there wasn't composite pen shows, only purebreds. We don't even think about that anymore. We're so used to Lim-Flex and Sam-Angus and balancers and those kind of things. And when we moved into adding that product to our product line, we added a lot of flexibility because all of a sudden in one mating cycle, we could import genes and make changes that would take us a lifetime to make as individual breeders breeding only purebred cattle. So these composite cattle have always been a pet of mine. I love them. The majority of our business is selling composite bulls because we can do anything. We can do anything with them. We change anything we want to, again, just in a very, very short period of time. So enough of that about a little speech, because I'm going to run out of voice. Anybody else been sick for about the last 3 months? Can't quite shake it. Usually get sick after you come to Denver. Now everybody's sick on their way to Denver, which Going to make for a mess here in a couple weeks, I imagine. But the sets of bulls out here, as I evaluate them, and you're going to hear more from me talking about the genetic evaluation than you hear from most judges. We've got a genomics division. We lean on the genetic evaluation of our service providers. We provide over half the data to the Breed Association. Each year, over half of the performance data and DNA data comes from herds we work with. And so I believe in it, and it works. We're going to talk about the bulls too and evaluate the bulls because they've still got to do all the things. They've got to have testicles under them. They've got to have great feet and legs and structure. They've got to have great disposition. They need to be physically pleasing. Add some muscle and some things that commercial cattlemen love. So I talk about all of them, but I lean on the data awfully hard because that's where I come from. In this particular group of bulls, I think there's one set, and it's tough for me. This set's a little bit tough for me because I'm old school. I've been judging shows for, 40-some years now, 40 years probably. And the group classes were always, at the beginning of time, we're always about, we've got to have great individuals and we've got to have uniformity. That was always the thing. But as I'm getting older, I get smarter and realize there's differences, like differences in age and things like that, that you have to kind of account for. To me, the three highest quality bulls as a group, the three that have got tremendous reach from the standpoint of growth and carcass, the three best-footed bulls as a group, the big testicle bulls as a group, have one bull in there that's 2-3 months younger than the other one, so he's a little smaller. So might not look as good in the picture, but I don't look as good in the picture as I used to either. These bulls right here are going to win. Bring them on up here. Congratulations. I think just an exceptional set of bulls, tremendous scan bulls. But when you get right down at the ground on these three and watch them move and look at the shape and size of their foot and the toolboxes underneath them, that's a set of bulls that to me excels in this particular group, and they're going to be the champions. After that, it gets, I think, a lot closer. I think there's three of these sets of bulls that could sure work. I'm going to just talk down them just a little bit. The oldest set of bulls down here has one of the most powerful individuals of the whole group. The third bull that comes out in that group is a tank. Massive for muscle and bone and foot. Got an awful lot of good things about the bulls, and I like that set of bulls. Not quite as uniform once again, and maybe giving up just a little bit in terms of carcass genetics, some of the things on paper, but that's a big, stout set of rugged, older bulls, and it'll make people happy. Really, the super uniform set is the set right in front of me. They're attractive from the side. They're level and square in their hip. Really nice in terms of the way they sit down on those rear feet. Again, not quite as much spread in the bulls genetically, maybe not quite as much guts as some of them, but that's an awful fancy set of bulls, and I've got some friends of mine that sure would have probably taken that set of bulls right up to the top. Set of bulls here, second to youngest, is a set of stout, big rib-shaped kind of bulls that sit down on big feet. I like these bulls. I love the fact that this is the biggest spread set, wonderful calving knees to growth spread, plenty of marbles, really nice indexes, and they look like bulls to me. The inside of them, maybe not quite as clean here and there up in their fronts and whatever else, if that matters to you. But these bulls are stout, commercial-oriented kind of bulls, and I like them. I love the set of babies. I talked to you about those. I love these weaned calves that have this kind of size. The lead bull in this group is going to be one high-performance dude. It's harder to evaluate a set of May bulls really against the bigger bulls. They've got better days ahead of them, but I really like that set of bulls too. The group out of Class 2, these bulls here are going to be reserve champions. Let's give them a good hand. Nice job.
So, folks, your champion pen of Lim-Flex bulls is entry 5168, exhibited by the Lawrence Family Limousine, Anton, Texas, and your reserve champion Lim-Flex pen of bulls is entry 5170, exhibited by Hager Cattle Company, Karlsruhe, North Dakota. Congratulations to both Lawrence Family and the Hager Cattle Company. And your People's Choice Lim-Flex Champion Pen is entry 5167 from Running Creek Ranch. Congratulations.
Back on the balancer side, excellent set of bulls that come out for Class 5. Our last class of the balancer show for today. These bulls are a little older than what we've seen in terms of being December borns, so you know a little more of what you're going to get. But boy, they do have that age advantage. But that aside, they are a very uniform, good-footed, sound, big hip set of bulls. All the form to functions there. I like their rib and body. I think they'll be in serious contention for the overall when we get the other two class winners out here. Really a nice pen of bulls.
And congratulations to Black Gold Genetics for winning Class 5.
Okay, Limousine fans, we're going to break and take pictures of our 3 champion pens real quick, and then we'll be right back into Class 6 in our Purebred division.
At this time, on the balancer side, we're selecting our grand champion and reserve champion balancer pen of 3 bulls. So on your left, as you view them from behind, is Class 3 from the winner is Riley Cattle Company. In the middle will be Warner Beef Genetics from Class 4. And on your right is Black Gold Genetics from Class 5. Our judge today is Jared Mernon, and he's a sale manager with Allied Genetic Resources. He's from Montana, resides in Billings, Montana with his wife and their kids, Claire and Cooper.
An excellent set from top to bottom, quality all the way through in the Pen of Three Balancer show. Really made it fun, made some decisions to be made, and really appreciate that. It makes it fun for me as a judge to have to sort through some of the differences and make some decisions for my taste and my mind of what I'm looking for. And with that, you know, what I'm looking for is a Pen of Three. For me, I like real moderate frame, big-bellied, thick-ended cattle that really get out and move. They're made right through their front end. They can get their head up and travel. They're loose in their structure, big testicled, and acceptable in their sheath as we go, you know. So those are some of the things. And then uniformity across all three. Those are some of my criteria as I go. And, you know, as we get into these times where inputs get so high. We're in great times in the cattle business, but we also know our inputs continue to increase. And I think we got to have enough performance in these cattle. We got to have carcass in these cattle. That's what pays. But when you get enough of that and when it's all acceptable, just like all of these bulls are in my mind, you start looking at the longevity things. Those are some things you can control for inputs out there on your farm and ranch in terms of structural correctness, foot, bone, even down to the shape of the sheath in terms of longevity of how these bulls last, because we all know bull prices are continue to go up, which is good as seed stock breeders, but you as commercial man want your bulls to last. So those are some things for bulls and the females that they produce that I'm really looking for. I think there's two pens that really match up, make a lot of decisions for me, but when it all comes down, I think for a set of three bulls that are the most uniform, soundest from first bull to the third bull as we go. Granted, they do have an age advantage, but I'm going to go with the bulls out of the last class for your champion. And then with that, their single entry, we're going to go with the bulls in the middle here for reserve. Thank you.
Congratulations to Black Gold Genetics from Pritchett, Colorado on champion balancer Pen of Three bulls. And congratulations to Warner Beef Genetics from Arapahoe, Nebraska on reserve champion balancer Pen of Three bulls. At this time, we'll take a 15 to 20 minute pitcher break, and then we'll be back with the balancer Pen of Five and the Gelbvieh bull pens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin our purebred division of our limousine pin bull show. This is Class 6 purebred limousine bulls. This will be our single entry in Class 6 and will serve as your Division 3 champion limousine pin of bulls. This pin comes to you from J. Yorga Farms Limited from Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. And this first bull in this pin, this is JYF Old Yeller 617K. This is a September 10th, 2022 son of Wolf's Zephyr X62 4Z. The J. Yorga Farms of Flintoff, Saskatchewan is Kelly and Norma Jeffrey and Kristen Yorga. J. Yorga Farms got their start in 1970 with half-blood bulls and haven't looked back since. Today they raise purebreds for their commercial customers to cross with Angus cows to make Lim-Flex calves to maximize hybrid vigor. This year is their 7th year exhibiting in the Pin and Carload show here at the National Western. The second bull in this pin is JYF Cashbaugh 603K. He is a September 1st son of Plains Polled Executioner 19E. J. Yorga Farms breeds approximately 300 purebred limousine cows with a goal to sell 100 bulls each year. Breeding for disposition is their number one focus, but also select for large scrotals and muscle. When people come to their house, they expect performance and muscle. J. Yorga Farms hosts their annual bull sale the last Monday of February at the ranch. They use DLMS auction, but would like to see producers in the stands. All bulls guaranteed delivered to central parts of the United States. J. Yorga Farms guarantee all bulls to be exportable and sound in every way. If customers are not happy with their purchase, they will not own the bull. Again, their sale is the last Monday of every February. The third entry in this purebred set of bulls is JYF King Bolt 623K. This is a September 16th son of Anchor B Gold Rush 48G. Again, this pin from J. Yorga Farms Limited, Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. Average weight 1493 with a WDA of 3.07.
Resuming on the Gelbvieh and Balancer side with our Balancer Pen of 5 bulls, we have one entry in Class 6, and it's exhibited by Black Gold Genetics from Pritchett, Colorado. The first bull in the ring is BGGR Kickstart K565. He's sired by BTBR Durant. He's born on December 5th of 22. He's a 41% Gelbvieh. He weighs 1,190 pounds and has a 40-centimeter scrotal. The second bull in the ring is BGGR Kickback K504, also sired by Durant, and he's born on November 24th of 22, 36.6% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,185 pounds with a 39.5 centimeter scrotal.
Again, just a single entry here in this first class in the purebred division, some September bulls. And boy, what a nice set of bulls from a standpoint of structure and disposition, natural thickness and mass. Just a wonderful, wonderful set of bulls that way. The blonde bull that came in first, about as athletic as you could make one, just great on his feet and legs. He's not quite as powerful as the other two in terms of his thickness, but he's more powerful than most of the bulls that you'll see. So that puts him kind of in that class. The bull in the middle, I love that calf and the structure of his hip and his rear leg and rear foot. That kind of long hip with that kind of mass, when you view him from a side, just a little bit of tip to it. To me, that's about as nice as you could put on one. The big bull comes in here, and he's sure impressive in terms of rib shape, natural mass, and muscle. Maybe a little shorter in terms of his stride than the other two bulls, but with all that thickness, you cut him just a little bit of slack. These bulls carrying just a little more birth weight maybe, but bulls that are right up against breed average in terms of marbling. And not only do they act docile, but that docility number, that average docility number has to be about as high as you could get in 3 bulls coming out of the Purebred Limousin division. Let's give them a nice hand. We'll move on to the next class.
Back on the Balancer side, the third bull from Black Gold was BGGR Kickoff, again sired by BTBR Durant. He's born on November 26th of 2022, 30% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,165 pounds, 38.5 centimeter scrotal. The fourth bull was BGGR Keystone, sired by Rainfall. He's born on December 14th of 22, 50% Gelbvieh, weighing 1,120 pounds, 37.5 centimeter scrotal. And the final bull is BGGR Karma, sired by Rainfall, born on December 13th of 22. He's 25% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,175 pounds, 38 centimeter scrotal. These bulls have an average age of 400 days, average weight of 1,167 pounds, and an average weight per day of age of 2.92.
Okay, as we move into Class 7, and this is Division 5 of our Purebred Limousin division. The first bull in the ring, coming to you from Reynolds Land and Cattle Company from Sanford, Colorado, is RODZ Loki 196L. He is a February 17th son of RODZ Hauser 130H.
Black Gold Genetics is a family operation located in southeast Colorado near Pritchett. The Crane family consists of Mark and Janelle, their son Matthew, his wife Randy, and their son Micah. Their annual Share the Gold bull sale is held at the ranch the last Saturday of February. They will feature 110 long yearling bulls, and they will also offer a few select females. Black Gold Genetics strives to produce low-input cattle that work and thrive in many different environments.
Our second entry in pin entry 5173 from Reynolds Land and Cattle Company, Sanford, Colorado, is RODZ Locked and Loaded 150L. This is a February 17th son of AHCC Earning Power 900E. Reynolds Land and Cattle Company, formerly a partnership of Reynolds Ranch, are now raising our 6th generation cattle raisers and 4th generation limousine breeders. We believe in raising cattle that work for the registered and commercial cattlemen alike. Phil once said, if you just raise good cattle and not chase the fads, you will always have good cattle. Our cattle are born at 7,600 feet elevation in southern Colorado. We summer our cattle around 10,000 feet in the mountains of northern New Mexico. We at Reynolds Land and Cattle believe in cattle that have calving ease, have plenty of growth, and convert feed. We continue to strive to develop cattle with good dispositions and make good mothers with plenty of milk without giving up a great look, eye appeal, and all the while getting out and working in the harshest of conditions. Along with the Limousin and Lim-Flex, we raise and sell show quality crossbred steers and heifers that sell on our fall sale on SC Online. We also raise and sell a small group of Angus and Simmentals that sell on our annual spring sale. We still believe that the Limousin cattle do more good than any of the other breeds in our conditions. Find us March 16th, 2024 at the ranch in Sanford, Colorado at our 42nd annual bull and female sale, hosted by DV Auction. All bulls will be pap tested and ready to work for you. Reynolds Land and Cattle, a breed apart. The third entry of this entry 5173 is RODZ Lendor 126L, a February 19th son of Cell History Buff 0245H. This pen of bulls had an average weight of 1148 with a WDA of 3.53. Again, the pen from Reynolds Land and Cattle Company, Sanford, Colorado.
Our pen of 5 Gelbvieh bulls, the single entry, but boy, they could sure use a lot of competition or stand a lot of competition. As you could tell, these bulls are kind of my style in terms of their power and muscle, their durability. They're good on their feet and legs, like their hoof structure. You look at their data, I mean, they're very consistent and uniform across the board. Big rib-eyed bulls. Their rib-eye per hundredweight is exceptional. They've got enough IMF. Big testicled, like I say, these bulls could sure stand a lot of competition. Just my style of bull. They're really up-headed, laid back in their shoulder, set down on good feet and legs with a lot of muscle and a lot of durability. Really a nice pen of 5.
Congratulations to Black Gold Genetics with the Champion Balancer pen of 5 bulls. At this time, we'll be going into the Gelbvieh portion of the pen show, and we'll start with the pen of 3 bulls. Gelbvieh pen of 3 bulls, class 7. We have 2 entries.
Okay, folks, on our limousine side, our second class in Division 5 is the entry 5174, coming to you from Ochsner Limousin in Kersey, Colorado. Our first entry is OLIM Latigo 320L. This is a February 24th son of OLIM Jackpot 209J.
Our first entry in Class 7 comes from Warner Beef Genetics with a Gelbvieh pen of 3 bulls. The first bull is DLW TPG Plan 8217L. He's sired by GRU Grand Plan. He's born on February 5th. He's 93% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,060 pounds with a 37.5 centimeter scrotal.
Our second entry in the Ochsner Limousin pen of bulls is OLIM Lynchpin 337L. He is a March 6th son of Wolf's Game Boy C911G.
Our second bull from Warner's is DLW TPG Plan 820L. He's also sired by GRU Grand Plan. He's born on February 29th. He's 93% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,095 pounds and a 37 centimeter scrotal. These bulls have an average age of 338 days, an average weight for the pen of 1,103 pounds, and an average weight per day of age of 3.26. Warner Beef Genetics is from Arapahoe, Nebraska, operated by Dan and Kate Warner and their family. Their bull sale is going to be March 6th of 2024. They'll be selling 140 Gelbvieh, Balancer, and Angus bulls. 55 of the bulls will be 18-month-old and approximately 85 spring yearlings. They're mostly black and 100% polled. The third bull in the ring is DLW TPG Trap 5132L, sired by DLW Sand Trap, born on February 2nd. He's 79% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,155 pounds, and has a 40.5 centimeter scrotal.
And the third and final member of the Ochsner pen, this red calf is OLIM Laredo 367L. He is a February 20th son of OLIM Jackpot 209J. This pen had an average weight of 1,075 pounds with a WDA of 3.39. Ochsner Limousin is a family-based business located about 60 miles northeast of Denver and operated by Kevin, Julie, Caitlin, Ashlyn, and Colin Ochsner. Together with their herdsman, Stratton, how do I say this? Wadaway. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to screw it up. The Ochners have a long history in the limousine business as Kevin's mom and dad, Ken and Roberta, began raising limousine cattle in the early 1970s. In 1977, Kevin bought his first 75% limousine heifer right here at the National Western Stock Show. The Ochsner family has continued to be very active in the limousine breed, with Kevin currently serving as second term on the North American Limousine Foundation Board of Directors. Today, their operation consists of 175 head of registered limousine and Lim-Flex cows, together with some irrigated farmland and a direct-to-consumer beef business. Their breeding philosophy focuses on optimums and not maximums. They strive to breed structurally sound, moderate-frame, docile, and complete cattle that can add extra muscling and performance to the British-based cow herds while enabling commercial customers to still hit today's quality grade targets. All three bulls in this year's entry are sired by bulls that Ochsner family bred and raised in their own program. For the last 16 years, Ochsner Limousin has served as a satellite cooperator herd for wolf cattle. This year, Ochners will be hosting their inaugural pasture-to-plate performance sale on Thursday, March 28th at 12:30 p.m. This will be a live online-only auction hosted by DV Auctions. They will be hosting an open house at the ranch in Kersey to preview the bulls in advance to their online sale. The Ochsner family invites you to stop by Pen 230 for more information about their upcoming pasture-to-plate performance sale, or connect with them on Facebook to stay abreast of all the latest news and events at Ochsner Limousin. Again, your pen from Ochsner Limousin, average weight was 1,075 with a WDA of 3.39.
On the Gelbvieh side, we got a pen of 3 exhibited by Judd Ranch from Pomona, Kansas. The second bull is currently in the ring. He's JRI Allspice 254L 427, sired by JRI Allen. He's born on January 21st of 23. He's 87.5% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,350 pounds, has a 40 centimeter scrotal. The third bull coming in the ring right now is JR Ready in a Bull, sired by JRI Relentless. He's born on January 24th of 23. He's a 75% Gelbvieh, weighing 1,250 pounds with a 38.5 centimeter scrotal. Going back to the first bull in the ring, JRI Priority Male. He was sired by General Patton and born on January 9th, 87.5% Gelbvieh, weighing 1,270 pounds with a 41.5 centimeter scrotal. The average age on these bulls is 356 days, average weight 1,278 pounds, and a 3.59 weight per day of age. Judd Ranch is located in the beautiful Flint Hills of Kansas, 1 hour southwest of Kansas City. Judd Ranch's 46th Gelbvieh Balancer and Red Angus Bull Sale will be Saturday, March 2nd of 2024. They're selling 335 Performance Plus range-ready bulls. 204 head of the bulls will be 17 to 19-month-old fall yearlings, and 131 head of 12 to 14-month-old spring yearling bulls. 99% of the sale bulls are sired by breed-leading AI sires. The sale bulls feature a 79-pound average birth weight with an 891-pound actual weaning weight average. Judd Ranch has been breeding Gelbvieh genetics for over 40 years, and they are honored to have been the #1 Dam of Merit program in the Gelbvieh breed for 21 of the past 26 years.
On the limousine side, our next pin in the ring is presented to you by Simmons Brothers Limousines from Amherst, South Dakota. The first bull in the ring was SYES Lincoln 268L. That calf was a March 1st son of SYES Easygoing 77E. The second pin, the second bull, the black bull, was SYES Long John 188L. He is a March 31st son of SYES John Doe 123J. And the red bull is their final entry in this, or final participant in this pin. This is SYES Line Drive 37L. He is a February 28th son of Lewis Gravity Flow G62. This pin had an average weight of 1,022 pounds with a WDA of 3.36. Again, this is your pin from Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota. Simmons Brothers in Amherst, South Dakota is a fourth-generation farm, ranch, and cattle feeding operation. They are a 50-year member of the North American Limousine Association. Started by four brothers, the late Irwin Simmons, the late Herman Simmons, Paul Simmons, and John Simmons. The operation is run today by John, Irwin's son Brad, and Paul's son Warren. One hired man, Thad Jensen, rounds out the operation, with Warren's son Owen helping when needed. This year, they'll calve around 250 registered limousine cows and will hold their 43rd annual production sale February 22nd at the farm in Amherst, selling 85 bulls and 25 females. They emphasize muscle growth, performance, fertility, and carcass improvement in their breeding. Their feedlot is a hoop building confinement system, and they feed up to 999 head one-time capacity. They also raise 1,500 acres of corn, soybeans, and forage on dry land. John has held board positions as NALF at the NALF, the South Dakota Limousine Association, the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, and Meat Export Federation, as well as the Church Council, among others. Paul held a seat in the South Dakota Senate for 16 years, was county commissioner, Farmers Union board member, church board member, and others. Warren served on the South Dakota Limousine Association as well as church board, NALF board, and is currently the president of the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association. Irwin held positions for many years on conservation district boards, and Brad is the township board supervisor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pin of bulls from Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota.
Okay, on the Gelbvieh side, we've got bulls in the ring to place Class 7. And on your left is the entry from Judd Ranch. As you stand behind the cattle, on your right is Warner Beef Genetics. And this will be champion and reserve champion Gelbvieh Pen of 3 bulls.
Okay, these are our 3 entries for Class 7. We'll have our judge place this class, and then we'll bring in Class 8 to vie for our Division 5 champion pen of 3 purebred limousine bulls.
Just one class, pen of 3 Gelbvieh bulls, and this will be your automatic champion and reserve. But boy, what a set of 6 bulls out here. There's give and take in between both sets, but in terms of all 6, very high quality individuals. I would encourage you guys in the stands to sure take a look at these bulls, as I'm sure they're for sale coming up this spring. I think 6 high quality individuals that could do a lot of people in the industry a lot of good. The pen to my left, really a big high-performing set of bulls, stand on a big foot, very uniform and square in their foot shape. Really appreciate them for their squareness of hip. Maybe to change them as a group, just like to lay them back a little in their shoulder, be able to get their head just a little more elevated, to free them up just a little more out of their front end. But really big square hip bulls as we go, 3 very uniform bulls right there. The group here in front of me on my right, really big-ended, moderate framed, deep, soggy middle bulls. Do like their extension through their front end, how they're laid back in the shoulder. Maybe clean a couple up or one just in the sheath just a little bit for me. But other than that, it's kind of a flip of the coin. Both are very worthy of winning this class and winning this show. Sticking with what I've done earlier and my style and speed of cattle, ones that are laid back in their shoulder, really big, middled, and soft. Going to go with the pen here on my right as your champion, left is reserve. 6 very high-quality individuals.
Okay, champion Gelbvieh pen of 3 bulls goes to Warner Beef Genetics, and reserve champion pen of 3 Gelbvieh bulls goes to Judd Ranch.
We got an extremely competitive class here. Finally got a class where we've got some numbers in it. We can do some sorting and some fighting through it. But every one of these pens has got something about it I really, really like. This first pen that came in here, tremendous set of numbers on them. I appreciate the extra marbling that this group brings into the purebred division, which I know is tougher to get. And there's some powerful individuals in there. I just wish a little more uniformity in terms of type and kind would make this group just a little bit better. There's just a massive bull that came in first, and then kind of a prettier bull, and then a real complete bull at the end. 3 awfully nice individuals. Again, just a little more uniformity, and this group would be very hard to handle. The second group doesn't have that problem. The uniformity is really, really nice in this group. Anybody like the Red Bulls in this class? Yeah, I like the Red Bulls in this class too. And in fact, I've always argued that the Red Bulls, when people keep them and bring them, they're better because they've been sorted on harder than the black ones have. But just a wonderful Red Bull here, as in my opinion, the best bull of those 3. Very uniform, and again in their type, above average in all their numbers and indexes. Super balanced, no holes, no bad feet, no bad structure. Just good cattle. Third group comes in here, and uniformity is, again, outstanding. Really uniform in terms of their size, in terms of their condition, in terms of the way that they're structured and made. They're very similar all that way. All the bulls have got plenty to them. Maybe the middle bull is just a little bit weaker in terms of muscle. Maybe you could drop these bulls just a tick as far as their rib and their body and set them down a little bit more bone, but these bulls are fantastic. I mean, they're just fresh and youthful. Got really, again, really, really nice sets of numbers in terms of that and just a little more growth. Set of bulls I liked awfully well. With all that being said, I got to place them. To me, the most complete group, does the most things right, and phenotypically the nicest is this group in the middle. You can pull them up into first place. I thought they did a really, really nice job of representing the class. After that, I think it's painfully close. I'm going to use the group again, I think, with just a little bit more uniformity to it, and I appreciate that again in a bull class in the pen division. Just very, very similar individuals, and I think maybe just a little more representative of a program that way. Those bulls will be second, and these big bulls will be third. Let's give them all a good hand. Again, tremendous individuals in every set.
Okay, placing first in Class 7 of our Limousine Purebred Division goes to entry 5174, the pen exhibited by Oshner Limousine, Kersey, Colorado. That pen again had an average weight of 1,075 pounds with a WDA of 3.39. Second in that class is entry 5175, exhibited by Simmons Brothers Limousines, Amherst, South Dakota. Average weight of 1,022 pounds with a WDA of 3.36. And third in that class was entry 5173, exhibited by Reynolds Land and Cattle, Sanford, Colorado. Pen weight 1148 with a WDA of 3.53.
On the Gelbvieh side, we've got Judd Ranch with a Gelbvieh pen of 5 bulls, which is Class 8. The first bull in the ring is JRI Touch 253L486. He's sired by General Patton and born March 4th of 23. He's 87.5% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,140 pounds, and has a 37 centimeter scrotal. The second bull in the ring is JRI Rolls Royce 254L238, sired by JRI Relentless. He's born on January 24th of 23. He's 75% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,215 pounds, and has a 39 centimeter scrotal. The third bull in the ring is JRI Play It Again, sired by JRI General Patton, born on February 3rd of 23. He's 75% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,130 pounds, and a 43.5 centimeter scrotal. The average age on these bulls is 342 days, average weight 1,172 pounds, and a 3.43 weight per day of age.
Okay, on our limousine side and our Class 8, this is Class 8 of our Division 5. We have a single entry here in Class 8, exhibited by Wolf Cattle, Morris, Minnesota. The first bull in the ring is Wolf's Long Haul, K503L. He's a March 5th son of Wolf's Endurance, KO69E. Second bull in the ring here is Wolf's Lignite, 7207L. He is a March 31st son of J-Bar J Flint Rock, 899F.
Judd Ranch's fourth bull is JRI Great Pretender, 254L332, sired by General Patton, born on January 28th. He's 75% Gelbvieh, weighs 1,185 pounds, and has a 38.5 centimeter scrotal. The fifth bull in the ring is JRI Revenue, sired by JRI Relentless. He's born on January 9th of 23. He's 75% Gelbvieh, weighing 1,190 pounds and a 39 centimeter scrotal.
Okay, and our third entry in the limousine cattle pen of 3 here in Class 8 is Wolf's Logistics, 9266L. He is a March 27th son of WZRK Excelente 1063E. This pen had an average weight of 1,073 pounds with a WDA of 3.65. Again, 1,073 pounds with a WDA of 3.65. This will be our only entry in this class, and they will come back in for our selection of our Division 5 champion.
Well, they're catching that pen of 5 Gelbvieh bulls. I just wanted to make some general comments about the show as we wrap up. First off, I'd like to thank the American Gelbvieh Association for giving me the opportunity to come out here and sort through this pen show. Really an honor. Of course, this is where I started, fresh out of college, and never never can I replace those days and what I learned from a lot of you all here as breeders. It was an excellent opportunity, and there's always a soft spot in my heart for the Gelbvieh breed and that opportunity. Thank the National Western for having us and building this excellent facility. Once this is all finished and said and done, I mean, there'll be second to none in the country. One of the premier places. It will be the premier place to exhibit cattle as you for seed stock producers. One thing I know we all talk about is getting more commercial man participation in at these shows, and we all want to do that, and that's something we got to strive for. But I think one thing we can't forget, guys, is we need support from the seed stock producers themselves. I mean, this is the showcase for you to come and select genetics. I know you don't have time to drive across 25 states and look around. The more support we can get, more people exhibiting at these shows, the more we can see as seed stock producers and make selection decisions from cattle here at the show. So I commend everybody that took the extra effort to get bulls halter broke and the heifers as well, get them halter broke, fed, prepared. Down here, all the expense, I know it takes a lot of expense. My family likes to show cattle, and we go around the country, and it takes a lot of time and effort. So these breeders need to be commended for their effort. Please go by their pens and take a look. They put a lot of work in. And again, this is where some of the premier genetics of the breed are going to come from, right here in the yards at the National Western Stock Show. So again, thank you for the opportunity and really appreciate it. As we get this pen of 5 Gelbvieh bulls out here, excellent set. I wish that there was more competition again for them. As you study this set of bulls, they are great-footed. They sit down on a big foot, great in their hind leg. They really flex out, big square hips on them. Look at the data, it's exceptional. They've got a lot of ribeye per 100 pounds. They really perform. Weight per day of age, really a nice set of bulls. Wish that there was more to compete with them. So they, in my opinion, very well deserving of being your champion pen of 5 Gelbvieh bulls here at the National Western Stock Show. Again, thank you very much.
Congratulations to Judd Ranch from Pomona, Kansas on the champion Gelbvieh pen of 5 bulls. Thank you to Jared Mernon for being here and being our judge today. We appreciate it. Thank you to all of our exhibitors. Thank you to the spectators. The Colorado Gelbvieh Association would like to invite everybody out to the pens for hamburgers after the show. That'll be in the Gelbvieh Balancer section of the yards. We're going to take a short pitcher break on these final bulls. Then we'll have the hamburger fry. And you can also buy chances to vote on your favorite pens. One lucky person is going to win half the proceeds of the ticket sales. Thanks again.
Okay, folks, our final class, of course, in Class 8 from Wolf Cattle. Wolf Limousin, Leonard Wolf and Son started AI breeding commercial cows to Limousin bulls in 1970. And this year is their 44th year in the pen and Carload show. Marty, are you ready to talk? Okay, go ahead. I'll blow up the Wolf Limousin cattle when you're done. All right.
Just one class. We got a couple things going on here. First of all, just one exhibit in this particular class, and then we've got a division coming in. We've already brought in a couple of those head. This pen of bulls here has got a little bit up and down as far as uniformity, but as far as individual quality, maybe a couple of the best bulls that we've seen, particularly when you take into account the amount of genetic reach that they've got. First bull comes in, love him for his structure, just really a clean, attractive profiling kind of bull that's square and sound and really nice on his feet. He's got nice numbers to go along with it. Then the second bull comes in, and to me, he's a powerhouse. This is an absolute outlier for growth, carcass weight, kind of a terminally oriented bull in that regard, and yet from a type and kind standpoint, he's big-chested, he's wide-based, he's tremendously square and powerful as you get in behind him. Bull hit me pretty hard from an individual standpoint, really among all the bulls we've seen out here. That's certainly one of the very, very top-end ones. Third bull comes out, he's given up just a little bit in terms of thickness and width. That's the challenge in putting pens together. Still a sound, high-quality kind of a bull, still got plenty of good things about him. This pen, when you start looking at them as far as the things they excel in, carcass weight and growth is just exceptional in this set. little bit more birth weight than some, but certainly acceptable in that regard. A very, very nice pen to start with, again, with, to me, one or two of the best individuals that we've got in the whole show. Let's give them a nice hand and make sure that we know that that pen of bulls here, that's the first place in that group. After that, do you want to bring in the second pen, or how are we going to work that? Okay, if they're there, go ahead and bring them in. We'll go ahead here and show for our division. We need the second place group from that division. So we've got everybody in here. We don't take a break there unless they're gone. If they're gone, we'll go ahead and pick champion. Go ahead, Jake.
Well, while we're getting that second pin in here, I wanted to go through the bio for Wolf Cattle. Of course, no strangers to the limousine business. Wolf Cattle now operate. They feel it is important to be vested interest in all segments of the cattle industry, from seed stock to commercial producers, backgrounding to feedlot to packer to consumer. The operation calves out 2,000 cows annually with an extensive AI program, as well as an embryo transfer program, transplanting about 150 embryos a year. The Wolf Cattle is a diversified beef cattle operation headquartered in Morris, Minnesota. The cattle are housed at Sandy Ridge Ranch, Atkinson, Nebraska. They feed about 120,000 head of limousine cross cattle each year at their feedlots in Nebraska and South Dakota, along with custom lots in Texas. Many of these are feeder calves that they buy back from their bull customers. Wolf Cattle is also extensively involved with the dairy industry and provide many sires to that industry to produce more valuable feeding calves from dairy cows. Their beef on dairy program, which they called breeding to feeding, produces what they have named beef builders, the Wolf Cattle Limousine and Lim-Flex sired calves from dairy cows. They are working closely with several branded beef programs and have been a steady supplier of premium source and age-verified, non-hormone treated cattle and natural cattle to the domestic and export market. Marty, go ahead.
Thank you, Jake. We just brought in the second place class out of the first class in this division so that we can tie this all together nice and tightly. First of all, again, tremendous groups. Just as some of the red cattle are better because they've been harder on them, your breed and your breeders that are strong and left here are the best ones. Because just like in some of the breeds I used to work with, some of the rest of them didn't make it through the lean times to go ahead and make the kind of improvement, do the great things that you guys do. To me, I think it's close between these two. We got a group here with just a little more grow and a little more power in terms of their terminal kind of EPDs, and then we've got a group here that from a physical standpoint, more uniform, more balanced, and a group that I just love to take a look at. They're still Excel breed average in the categories that I need them to. That group's going to be champion. We use this group here, the single out of that last class for reserve. Let's give them a good hand, and we'll go on to the last class.
So selected as your champion Division 5 limousine pen of 3 purebred bulls goes to entry 5174, exhibited by Oshner Family Limousine, Hershey, Colorado. And your reserve champion Division 5 pen of 3 bulls goes to entry 5176, exhibited by Wolf Cattle, Morris, Minnesota. On the Wolf bio, the Wolf Cattle's 36th annual opportunity sale of 2024 will be on Thursday, April 6th, and is online only event. The sale will be broadcast on both Superior Livestock and DV Auction. Wolf Cattle is hosting an open house at Sandy Ridge Ranch, Atkinson, Nebraska on March 26th and 7th for viewing of the sale offering, or give Casey Fana a call anytime to schedule a visit. Please stop and buy their pen to sign up or call to be put on their mailing list for a free catalog. They will be selling over 400 bulls and 50 females. Check out www.wolfcattle.com for updates and the latest sale information. All cattle are sold fully guaranteed, fertile, and sound breeders, free trucking to central points throughout the United States for cattle purchased at their sale. They also sell about 200 private treaty bulls throughout the year. Okay, our next entry, folks, is going to be switched in your program, but this is entry 5178, exhibited by Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota. Your first bull is SYES Landmark 875L. This is an April 2nd son of Cole Genesis 88G. Again, Simmons Brothers Limousine will be hosting their 43rd annual production sale February 22nd at the ranch in Amherst, South Dakota. They'll be selling 85 bulls and approximately 25 females. The second bull in the ring, this red bull here, is SYES Leatherneck 218L. He is an April 7th son of JYF Extra Chunk 518E. And our third entry in the Simmons Brothers Limousine pen, this is again entry 5178. This red calf is SYES Leading Edge 143L. He's an April 7th son of L7 Genuine Vision 9033G. This pen had an average weight of 982 pounds with a WDA of 3.52 pounds per day. Again, 982 with a WDA of 3.52. And our next entry is entry 5177, coming to you from Luden's Family Limousine from Viborg, South Dakota. Our first entry in this pen is LFLC Locked and Loaded 311L. This is an April 12th son of SYES Jumpstart 317J. Luden's Family Limousine consists of Gordy and Pam Ludens and Michael and Sarah and our kids Brooklyn, Emily, Baylor, and Kendall. Luden's Family Limousine run about 80 head of of limousine cows, calves in spring and fall. Our annual sale is April 6th on the farm in Viborg, South Dakota, and sell 30 bulls and a few bred heifers. We sure enjoy coming back to the pen show and really enjoy our new facility. If you haven't visited, what a great ranch there in southern South Dakota. The second entry in the Luden's Family Limousine pen is LFLC Lodestar 11L. This is an April 13th son of SYES Jumpstart 317J. All of the bulls in the Luden's Family Limousine are all half-brothers, all out of the same sire. And the third entry of this pen is LFLC Linebacker 914L. Again, a son of SYES Jumpstart 317J. And this bull was born on April 13th. This pen has an average weight of 930 pounds with a WDA of 3.43. Again, all middle April calves weighing 930 with a WDA of 3.43. Again, this is your pen from Luden's Family Limousine, Viborg, South Dakota. And our final entry in this class, this is entry 5179. Coming to you again from J. Yorga Farms Limited in Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. This first entry coming in from J. Yorga Farms Limited is entry JYF Landau 105L. This isn't. Oh, excuse me. That's okay. This is JYF Levi 111L. This red calf is an April 12th son of RPY Gibson Shade 27J. Again, the J. Yorga Farms Limited from Flintoff, Saskatchewan, our friends from the north of the border, Kelly and Norma, Jeffrey and Kristen Yorga. They got their start in 1970 by raising half-bloods and breeding their cows to limousine bulls. This is their 7th year exhibiting here at the National Western, and they breed approximately 300 purebred limousine cows with a goal to sell and market 100 limousine bulls each year. They host their annual bull sale the last Monday of February, and they want to welcome everyone up to the great country of Canada to come see this great offering they'll be having on the last Monday of February. The second entry in the ring is JYF Larry 129L. This is an April 21st son of Anchor B Gold Rush 48G.
When I calve him out, he's really pretty. I can't tell you right now what breed average is, but on my farm, no. when I'm on AI and calving him, no.
Yeah.
But he is. I
He's a
agree.
good-looking scamp.
I agree.
Awesome-headed. And the third entry in this pen is JYF Landau 105L. This is an April 10th son of Plains Polled Executioner 19E. This pen had an average weight of 798 pounds for a WDA of 2.93. Again, an average weight, 798 pounds with a WDA of 2.93. This again is your pen entry 5179 from J. Yorga Farms Limited, Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. Okay, when our friends from north of the border get their bulls captured, we will bring all three of these entries back in here and let our judge, Mr. Marty Ropp, evaluate this last class and last division. And then we will move into our selection of our champion purebred bulls. Okay, once again, our entries here in our final class of the day. This is Class 9 in Division 6 of our Purebred Limousine division. Your first entry was 5178, exhibited by Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota. Bulls weighed 982 average with a 3.52 WDA. The second pin in the ring was entry 5177, exhibited by Luden's Family Limousine, Viborg, South Dakota. Those bulls had an average weight of 930 with a WDA of 3.43. And your final entry was entry 5179 from J. Yorga Farms Limited, Flintoff, South Dakota, or South Saskatchewan, excuse me. Had an average weight of 798 with a WDA of 2.93. Once again, I want to remind all of you spectators, we want your input again. We want your votes on the Purebred division. So on the back of your program, please tear off that ballot. And when we get all of our champions in here in a little bit, we do want you to please vote on your champion, People's Choice champion pin of 3 Purebred Limousine bulls.
Let's give these folks a nice hand. This is the last class of 3 here. I just think awful nice bulls. We have not had a pen of bulls. It's been weak, I don't think, all day. And I think that's a tribute to the breeders. And I know you don't bring them this far if they are anymore. So I understand that's part of it, too. Just looking through it's difficult enough when it's just one at a time. But when you start taking into account the average merit of the 3 and the best ones and the poorest ones and all the things that come about in this, it becomes more real life to me than what it does judging one at a time, because this is what we do every day. In this particular group, though, I do think first place is fairly straightforward. It's a group of bulls that's sure uniform enough in their quality. The best individual, in my opinion, in the whole class is in this particular group. They got to a little bit of advantage in terms of their growth and carcass EPDs, maternal EPDs, kind of all the way across the board. This group down here, I think, wins this class in a fairly handy fashion. And if you don't like that darker red bull there that comes in last, we could have just walked him around 6 or 8 more times. It was a pleasure watching him. That'll be your first place pin in this group. Let's give them a good hand. After that, I think it gets a little bit closer. The other 2 groups, first of all, the group in the middle, really admire this group from a standpoint of excelling maybe any of the groups that we've had as far as calving knees, and yet they still have some muscle and some shape and some bone in them. You know, they're not kind of narrow, flat heifer bulls, but they're the easy calving group, maybe of all of them that we've seen during the day. Really uniform and, again, really nice in terms of their structure, a little greener kind of bulls, but these are young calves. And one thing I think it's been nice is that all the cattle have come in today, too, have been appropriate as far as condition, not only for sale, but also as they have to go out and perform. Not too fat, not too lean, and, again, I think that's a tribute to the way you guys have developed them. The group down here on the end with the other single red bull, hard to make a group more uniform than that. You start looking at their hip shape, natural thickness, the way they're structured on their rear wheels, the way they move, the hoof quality. That group is absolutely drop dead uniform and fits into a group class as good as you can that way. They're giving up some in terms of having a little more birth, maybe than some of them, and not bringing some extra growth. And I'd really like to see just a little more testicle size on those bulls. I guess to me, even though they're Aprils, I'd just like to see a little more indication that development's going to get the way it should be. I'm confident for you guys that it will be come sale time, but today, again, that is just a little bit tougher, and it makes it the middle decision just a little bit easier. These will be second. The bulls down in the end, the real uniform group, will be third. Let's give them all a good hand. Wonderful class of bulls.
Okay, placing first in Class 8, or Class 9, I guess, of our Purebred division, and selected as your Division 6 champion pin of 3 goes to Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota. Your second place calves is entry 5177, and your reserve division champion is exhibited by Luden's Family Limousine from Viborg, South Dakota. And third in that class is entry 5179, shown by J. Yorga Farms Limited, Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. Okay, our Division 3 champion pen of bulls here is exhibited as entry 5172, exhibited by J. Yorga Farms Limited from Flintoff, Saskatchewan, Canada. The average weight of these bulls was 1493 with a WDA of 3.07. In our next division, Division 5, your Division 5 champion pen of bulls was entry 5174, exhibited by Oshner Family Limousine, Kersey, Colorado. These bulls weighed 1,075 pounds with a WDA of 3.39 pounds. And your champion out of Division 6 is entry 5178, exhibited by Simmons Brothers Limousine, Amherst, South Dakota. This pen had an average weight of 982 with a WDA of 3.52. The reserve champion pen of 3 in Division 5 is the entry from Wolf Cattle of Morris, Minnesota, entry 5176. This pen of bulls had an average weight of 1,073 with a WDA of 3.65. And your reserve champion pen in Division 6 is entry 5177, exhibited by Luden's Family Limousine, Viborg, South Dakota. And that pen had an average weight of 930 pounds with a WDA of 3.43. Folks, again, when we get these our bulls pulled in here, if you would please tear off your ballot on the back of your show program and fill that in, and please turn it in to someone around ringside or up here at the announcer stand, and we will then announce our People's Choice Champion Limousine, Purebred Limousin pen of 3. Again, as our judge is doing his final placings on our champion pen of 3, it's my pleasure again to reintroduce Marty Ropp from Normal, Illinois. Marty, of course, is the executive officer of Allied Genetic Resources and All Beef. Marty graduated from Kansas State University with his Bachelor of Science, went on to the University of Missouri, where he received his master's, and while there, he was on the teaching staff and coached the collegiate livestock judging team. After there, he worked 6 years in the extension department in the states of Missouri and Michigan before moving on as director of commercial and outreach programs for the American Simmental Association before beginning Allied Genetic Resources. Again, I'd like to introduce you my friend, Marty Ropp.
Thanks, Jake. Probably known you about as long as anybody in this room, so you did a good job. K-State. Go K-State. Go Cats. E-Mall. Before we get going any farther here, again, just as a matter of courtesy and thank yous, thank you to Mark and everybody at Limousin for inviting me to come in here and do this, folks at the National Western for doing so much work around here to make this a nicer facility than they've ever had before, although I kind of miss the old arena, I'm not going to lie. I thought that was a pretty cool place. Just pack some people in there, and it really looked nice. But again, just thank you. This is what I do for a living. Next week, I'll start bull tours for spring sales, probably walk through 2,000, 2,500 bulls in the next week and a half, work with commercial producers, work with people that make commercial bulls. That's what our business does. Our owners will sell around 10,000 commercial bulls this year, and the things that are important to commercial cattlemen are the same things that are important to us, and that's why it's, to me, this is no different than any other day, just going out and sorting some bulls, trying to find the things that you need, because people say, well, what do you need? Do you need bulls with great genetic evaluation? You need bulls that are physically fabulous? Do you need bulls that you need service that comes behind those? And the answer is everything. We need everything. And the good news is we can have everything, and you see that as you come into these kind of events. We can make them any way we want to, and we can add all the value we want to. And if we're going to be competitive in the beef industry and competitive in the seed stock industry, we're going to have to do both. We're going to have to do it all. And that's what our business is committed to. And again, this is just another day for me, but I appreciate the exhibitors and all the work that you guys put into this. I know I wouldn't do it. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. This is more work than I'm comfortable with when I'm only home 100 days a year at least. So anyway, with all that said, as we look out here among these three groups, there's high quality individuals in all three groups. As a matter of fact, there's a couple studs in each one of the groups. But the group here that puts most things together for me in terms of uniformity, in terms of solid EPD package, above average in almost all the trait categories, has two of the finest individuals in the whole show, not just in this particular group, and a group that I think is pretty easy for me to find out here is the group right in the center that came out of that middle division. Let's give those folks a nice hand. That'll be your grand champion, pen of 3 Limousin Bulls.
Selected as your grand champion, pen of 3 Purebred Limousin Bulls is entry 5174. That is exhibited by Oshner Family Limousin from Kersey, Colorado. Those bulls also serve as your People's Choice Award bulls. Congratulations, Kevin and family. Reserved to the Oshner pen of bulls in that division was entry 5176, exhibited by Wolf Cattle, Morris, Minnesota. And as we bring in that pen of bulls, they had an average weight of 1,073 pounds with a weight per day of age of 3.65.
We bring the reserve champions out here, and again, we could bring out second places in most of these classes, and it really wouldn't look much difference in terms of the average quality that we bring out here. Just a wonderful show, great herds, reputation herds, and you guys represent your breed really, really well when you come out here to Denver and show people what limousine bulls are and what they bring to the table. The group out of this last division down here really, really love that red calf. It started out that group. Maybe could make them a little more uniform in terms of type and kind, but they're sound structured bulls that when they got out here, they jumped and bucked, landed on all 4 feet. They're fresh and ready to go to work, and I appreciate those bulls a lot. The group down here on this end, the big 18-month-old bulls, talk about a set of bulls that'll make people happy that have got some red British cows. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, put that bone and that thickness and that structure onto a set of red British cows. Be as nice a commercial bulls as you could make. They're big testicled, big footed, big stout bulls, good structured bulls. Love that pen a lot too. Just give them just a little more punch in terms of some of the things we have to have, at least in our business, from a genetic and genomic standpoint, and we could sure look at them harder too. The group that comes out here second place out after the champions, maybe again could use a notch more uniformity because the third bull isn't quite the bull that the other two are. Is he good? Sure, he's sound, he's fine. Got plenty of testicle size, got good numbers, he does a lot of nice things, but there's two bulls in there that just kind of stick out just a little bit in comparison to him. The bull in the middle was a bull I keep talking about, but here's a bull that's got unbelievable data for growth, tremendous marbling, tremendous ability to add carcass weight at almost 3 times the breed average for carcass weight, and yet he's in a moderate kind of a package that you could live with structurally and look. Massive rib, square. Love that calf. Love the bull that started that group. And they're the bulls that offer the most genetic reach in terms of EPDs of all the groups that we had in the pens of 3. Not Cavanese bulls, but growth bulls that offer a lot of value to the commercial beef business. Those bulls will be reserve champion. Let's give them a good hand too.
And your reserve champion purebred pen of 3 bulls goes to entry 5176, exhibited by Wolf Cattle, Morris, Minnesota. Congratulations to the Oshner family for your champion pen and People's Choice, and to Wolf Cattle from Morris, Minnesota on your reserve champion. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our limousine pen show this year for the 2024 National Western. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you to come visit the National Western. I hope you enjoy yourself the rest of the week. Thank you. We'll see you next year.